All right, YouTube. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast Talking Auburn Football. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger or Eagle. All right, so Auburn gets ready for the battle against Minnesota. Minnesota actually had some success in the Big Ten this year, especially with the signature win over Penn State that catapulted them from the number 17 team in the country all the way up to, I think, around like 7 or something like that. A very epic jump for Minnesota. So this is definitely going to be a game where Auburn is going to have to, rise up to the challenge. I think Auburn does understand all that's at stake. You're talking about a situation where they can have 2 10-win seasons within a 3-season span. Very important for Auburn to accomplish this, especially considering the fact that with all the opportunities that were had throughout the season, Auburn actually knocking on the door of a potential playoff caliber team, but a few mishaps here and there. Lost to LSU, a game that, arguably could have been won by Auburn. Florida especially, and, of course, the game against Georgia. Every year, you have these bowl games that are, for the most part, in the grand scheme of things, are pretty non-consequential. I think in Auburn's case, it'd be great for them to end this particular season with a double-digit win season. I think that would be a signature, considering all the other successes involved. You talk about Bo Nix as the true freshman of the year in the SEC. Derek Brown garnishing a lot of awards, including AP SEC Player of the Year. Marlon Davidson, All SEC. KJ Britt, All SEC. Big time year for the Auburn Tigers from a, award-winning standpoint. But as it never fails, you always have those players that decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to sit out the bowl game. I'm going to forego my tenure as a collegiate football player. I'm not going to play in the bowl game, and I'm going to pursue my dreams to play in the NFL. Nick Cole is one of those guys that has announced that he will not play. Not only will he not play in the bowl game, but his tenure as an Auburn Tiger is over. He's going to forego his senior season and try his luck in the NFL, especially after a very disappointing season, I guess you could say. Didn't have the pivotal role that we expected out of Nick Cole, especially with the emergence of Tyrone Truesdale and Cornish Miller. Nick Cole never could establish his niche in this particular defense for the Auburn Tigers. We definitely wish Nick Cole well. He had a lot of great moments for the Auburn Tigers, but it just didn't pan out in the epic manner that it did for Marlon Davidson and Derek Brown. But definitely a guy who has to be considered a pretty talented player. I think he will find some home in the NFL, especially I look at him as a buck linebacker / defensive end in the NFL. He's definitely going to have to continue to improve, especially on his competitiveness and work ethic standpoint. But I mean, the 4-star recruit out of North Carolina, very productive player for the Auburn Tigers. Didn't quite pan out his junior year that we would have expected. But all in all, a great career for Nick Cole as an Auburn Tiger. Definitely enjoyed watching this young man play. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast Talking Auburn Football. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.